Alright guys, so here will be a review of the Sword Valmet 455 EXL tracked harvester with the harvesting head. And I've wanted this model for probably 3 years now, and I finally got it. And you're probably wondering why, because I buy more expensive models than this. And the simple reason was because although I do like forestry machines a lot, there aren't enough on the market for me to build a collection up of them. So for me to buy just one of them really didn't make any sense to me. But I got this for 45 bucks compared to 90, so I got it. Years later, current day today, they do make more forestry products, so maybe down the line I will buy some more forestry machines, but I haven't seen that many in my life to build the whole collection of. I've probably only seen around 1 or 2 of them. So anyway, to get started with the review, comes in the typical Sword TWH box, and for 90 bucks you definitely get your money's worth. There's one thing that I don't like about it, but the rest of the model is absolutely fantastic and built superior. Now, the one thing that I don't like about it is how you could tell it always wants to tilt backwards. The machine itself tilts on the undercarriage. Well, actually, there's around 2 things that I don't like about it. One of them, which is obviously the machine tilts, and it tilts perfectly, but it also wants to always lean backwards, and I don't understand that. I try to push it forward and it bounces back, and sometimes it bounces back too far. And since it tilts, the weight of it will spin it, and it really doesn't bother me, but sometimes when I want to display it in a certain position, it'll spin. But naturally, it's just the nature of the beast, so to say. But one of 2 things that I don't like about it is how it keeps bouncing back, and I don't know why. Second thing that I don't like about it is the hinges that this door for the cab and the service door over here, they are very loose. So as you can tell right there, if you tilt the machine, the door will open, and it bothers me a lot. I know it really isn't much, but it just won't stay closed, and it really bothers me when I see it open when I have it displayed. Maybe if I somehow figure out a way where I could put a little tiny bit of glue on there, just so maybe it thickens up the hinge so it won't open like that. But it's still cool that the door's open, and one of my favorite things on the model is how the door for the cab opens, so you could display it open. That is really cool. I wish it did that on all excavator models. Anyway, getting to the actual details of the model. The undercarriage is completely awesome. I love the undercarriage. There's just so much engineering put into it. The only thing I wish they would have did with the undercarriage was made single grouser pads. They're double grouser pads. The box shows it with single grouser pads, and it just looks mean. Not that it doesn't with these double grouser pads, but it would look nice with them. They're metal, and it has a track tensioner, and they roll super smooth. You could tell tiny bit loose, but that's what makes them roll so smooth and what makes them so nice. The frames are obviously protected from everything, so they're going to be flat, and a nice detail on everything. Same as the other side. You could almost see how the track frames connect to the rotating bed. Anyway, cool thing that they did was, and I guess this would be best to show it. Sorry about the focus, but this lens is a starter lens, and it's not the best out there. They added the rubber piece, which obviously protects everything under it, and it's really cool because it's not that thick rubber that doesn't bend. It's really thin, and you could tell it just moves over anything, and it'll really take the shape of it. I like that a lot. Just a great feature. It really shows that they did put a lot into making this model. And you could see the cylinder under there. The model rotates left to right to make up for the hill that it's working on. So let's see it. Go left if you're sitting in it, and go right, which is awesome. I love how they did that. It really does add to the model. It's just so cool how it does that, and it could spin like that and everything. But and there goes the cab opening, like I said, but having the cab open is awesome. Now, to get to the actual body of it, I love how the cab is just so open and there's a lot of windows. Again, I have not seen a real harvester in real life, so I really don't know much about them, but I have seen pictures and videos of them, and naturally I would think you need a lot of visibility, and this model shows it. The black on the cab is supposed to be the simulated cab guard. Although I wish they would have put a cab guard on it, I'd rather have the black lines in it, because it just, I guess it looks more to scale than having a huge cab guard on it, and I think it just overall it gives the model a nicer look. You could see all the lights everywhere, and like I've shown before, the cab opens, and I think that is just a major plus. If only there was a way to latch it right there so it would hold open. And the controls in the cab, and the warning label, which is awesome. There's a lot put into this model, as you could tell. And if you notice, I can't get it to stay back as it keeps wanting to tilt forward, even with the harvester off the ground. Anyway, behind the cab is completely awesome. One thing I specifically like about this machine is the colors. The red and black looks great, and the black isn't too high of a gloss, and the red gives it a nice look. You could see all the lines running from the body to the back of the boom, and they run up the boom as well. And the nice decaling. This, I can't tell if it's etched out. It seems like it is, though. And coming to the other side, all the decals. Again, don't know if it's etched out. I have a feeling it's not. If you ask me, I would say it's not, although it does look like it. They give you this little pick, which is perfect for opening like that. Obviously, the door opens. You could tell it's not etched out, which is the reason why I would say it's not. And that door just flies open. Reveals the engine, which I have the specs over there, but I don't think anyone would care what the engine is. So, you're here for a model review, not a specs on the machine. You can see the engine has a whole lot of detail, cleaners and everything. Looks awesome. Just really, really nice. Now, one thing that I'm just figuring out now as I'm doing the review is that it looks like that this door right here opens. I don't know. It has a hinge there, but it doesn't seem like it wants to open. I don't want to break it, and there it goes. It opened. See, now this one actually has a latch. Don't understand why they would put the latch on that one and not this one, but that's how it's made. Nothing I can do about it. Just figuring out that this opens in the review. It doesn't go to reveal much, as you can see. A little etched detail there. This thing actually comes in handy for reviews. Again, not really much, but cool that it opens, and awesome that it has a latch. You could tell I could barely even open it. Now, above the model, that's all it goes. Anyway, you could see on top of the model, it's got a sunroof, so you could see on top, and nothing really too much over here. I'd assume that's the fuel tank. The lift cylinder is in there, and you got a swing motor right there. Kind of hard to tell. You can see it's a real compact machine, obviously, for the where it has to work. Now, I'm gonna have to raise up for this. So, here's the boom on the model, and before I get to any of the boom, it does extend, which is really nice, and it can hold itself up if anyone is wondering. So that's really cool as well. The boom has all the line detail up top. Rubber, as you could tell, you could press down on it and everything. Painted rivets, they don't match exactly, but they're close enough. And here's the extendable boom over here. And what I like is they put the guarding on the hoses that run to the harvesting head. And the harvesting head is extremely detailed. I like it a lot. It obviously you can't control what position it has it in. It just falls by gravity, just from the center of gravity, as you could tell, but it really doesn't take away from it. And it's just extremely detailed. It's got a, I don't know what these are called, but obviously they grip the tree when you want to hold on to it, and it'll roll it in and roll it out. The small tiny grapples here, they open somewhat simultaneously, you could tell, and the bottom ones do as well. Now it's also got a if I could get it out, it's got a blade up top, and on the edge of the blade it does have a little, well, on the bottom one it has, which bottom one is right here, you could tell it has teeth, which that is just awesome. I like that a lot, and it just really does add to the model. And the jaws open side, not the jaws, these wheels here. Again, I'm not into forestry, so I really don't know. Close them up. The head, it would seem delicate, but it's really not that delicate. I mean, obviously you can't throw it around, but it's a lot less delicate than I thought it would be. And here it is, and it's 385 harvesting head. And lastly, after you got your tree, you can tilt it down like this, and that's just awesome. Just look at the detail on that. And more of that. You can see the lines move right there. And the other side. So that is just awesome. So, I mean, just from watching the review, you could get a good idea of the model, and for 90 bucks, it's completely worth it. Honestly, I wish I would have got it before, but I waited till someone had it for cheap. And obviously, it's nice to have it at a cheaper price, but if you can't get it for 45 bucks now, it is definitely worth the money for 90 bucks. It'd be more for shipping, but it's definitely worth the money. You could see just the detail on it, and plus the price of it just makes it a must-have for any collection. Now, I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to get the other Valmet models. I might if they run the sale again, but for now I'm just going to keep this one. So, hope you liked it, guys. There's the Sword Valmet 455. 445.